All right, we're gonna do a 60-foot pole in 3, 2, 1, go. "60-foot pole round 2, 3, 2, 1, go." "60-foot pole round 3, 3, 2, 1, go. Now we're gonna do a top speed run. 3, 2, 1, go. Top speed run round 2, 3, 2, 1, go. Top speed run, 3, 2, 1, go. I almost lost my phone. One thing I don't like about this cart is it doesn't have a toolbox. I could stick my phone. I guess I shouldn't be wearing sweats. died. Uh-oh. Did I blow her up? Maybe out of old gasoline. See if we can limp her back. Oh, this is bumpy. This is bumpy. All right. So that was a Hammerhead GTS Platinum in stock form. As you can see, it's not a powerful machine. Top speed was 31.7 miles an hour. I'm sure if you were going downhill or somewhere outside of, let's say, the cornfields or the grass, you could probably get it up a little faster. But in the turns, in the trails, they're a blast. You know, this is not a side-by-side. This is not a, I would say, what you'd call your standard go-kart either. We love these things. They're cheap, easy to modify, cheap to modify, and they're a blast in short turns, like courses, like the trails. We have a lot of fun. The friends bring some over, and we go out ride and just basically tear it up. So what I'll say is the GTS, this is the GTS Platinum. A few things you'll notice different about these versus the standard GTS 150. You've got the silver and the suspension. The GTS Platinums, from my understanding, have longer control arms. Hammerhead Performance sells this as an upgraded kit. They also have nitrogen shocks, front and rear, as you will see there. The GTS Platinum has the alloy, the chrome wheels. And they also come with the 5-point, the red harness is stock. The previous owner took those off for whatever reason. Other than that, this machine compared to my Candy, I will say it's not as big sitting in it. It's definitely, you know, smaller. It's got a different feel. You're more up on the front end versus the Candy where you're kind of sitting back a little bit. It's not as fast because the Candy I have is modified, but it's definitely more nimble. I felt in stock form versus the Candy, I could go much faster through the trails. And the footage that you'll see is I was juggling a phone and with these harnesses and the alignment's off. You know, I wasn't pushing it to the max, but it is still, you know, it was a blast. The harnesses for me will be a huge upgrade. I like the harnesses not only for safety, but they help hold you in the seats. You're not sliding around, so you can focus more on the steering side of things. And the alignment will benefit as well. Other than that, I will say that these Hammerheads, it is nice. They've got an oil cooler on the back, which you can see there. And then they just seem like better fit and finish overall compared to some of the older go-karts or buggies you may find. The engine, I've noticed some differences with the casing. I've also noticed that this right here is factory. A lot of the GY6 motors you'll see do not have this. It's like a flange that basically bolts onto the case of the motor. There's some companies that sell these aftermarket. They call them case savers, because what you'll see is the torque of the engine. And I think the tension of the chain, which this chain is pretty loose, but it'll cause this housing to crack. It's also, if you don't run this clutch cover, I've heard it'll cause them to crack too, because it kind of helps hold everything together, strengthens it up a bit. So yeah, I thought that was a cool touch. Just the way everything else is put together just seems much nicer. I mean, is it going to make a world of difference from your standard buggy? Probably not, but it's just, you know, you're getting a much better piece of equipment in my mind. I also like the fact that you can get on, I was on Hammerhead Performance, and I can order any part for this. You know, if I bent this bar here, I could replace just that one bar. If I bent this, if I needed, you know, any type of hardware, I could find those parts. So that is huge. The candies, you know, the other buggies, go-karts I've had, it's kind of hit and miss. You'll see something that looks the same, you'll get it, and it'll be 1/8 of an inch off. It's crazy, and it's a major pain in the, you know. So that's huge to me. I've got a parts manual, and it helps me find, you know, basically anything I need. Like, for example, on this one, it was really easy to find the bumper, I think is what this is called. This one's cracked, so I'm going to replace that. The hood, I was able to order a new hood. Fender, now those I could find for the candy all day. Most of those are pretty much the same. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace this fender bracket as well. I mean, I could straighten that, but I'm going to straighten the piece behind it. I was just like, hell, it's 20 bucks. So I just went ahead and I'm going to replace it. It's also nice that these GTS 150s, they come with LED front lights. So that's kind of a nice touch. Tilt steering wheel. A lot of your Hammerheads have that. My candy does not. It's got a forward, neutral, reverse transmission. And other than that, brake lights. The brakes, I will say, feel awesome on this thing. So I don't know if I need to bleed my candies better or if maybe there's an adjustment on the master cylinder. But yeah, this stops really, really well for what it is. So yeah, here's the parts we're gonna throw at it. We've got some body parts here. Got the hood, the bumper, the fender that was cracked. I got all that through Hammerhead Performance. The exhaust, the Hammerhead exhaust, and the Hammerhead intake. I have this on my candy, and I absolutely love the way this exhaust sounds. When I bought this Black Friday, I ordered a lot of these parts Black Friday, and they didn't have black. I wish they would have had the black. I like the way the black looks better, but I didn't even have the platinum at one time. I knew I was going to get something else, so I just wanted to get everything ahead. So, you know, to be honest, this might look good on the platinum because it's got all the chrome, you know, accents. So yeah, I absolutely love that muffler, and it's stainless. The way they did the pipe, it all looks TIG welded and everything looks really nice. These are the harnesses I'm going to replace. Like I said, Hammerhead had all those. You know, I just pulled it up. They sell it as a kit. You can upgrade your standard 150 with those. The previous owner took the old belts off. I was missing the hardware. Pretty easy to find, so that was cool. Gates belts. I've always been told only run Gates PowerLink belts. So that is your part number if you're needing a belt. I bought a couple because I've got a couple of these buggies just so I got some spares. I bought the spark plugs. I'm going to get into changing the clutch. I got a Dr. Pulley hit clutch. This is a Glixal Performance secondary pulley. It's got the adjustable pins. So the hit clutch is going to go on that, and then it's going to get a lightweight clutch drum and a 1,500-pound yellow spring. Carburetor, I'm going to do a Glixal 26mm. The best practice for this is to do the Mikuni. I didn't want to get into cutting the frame and you know, changing the throttle linkage. The Mikuni is going to perform better, but I just keep it simple. I love the way my candy runs, so I'm going to do this on this one. Basically keep it simple, stupid. In terms of last but not least, I'm going to do a performance head. I got this through JD's. This is one of the performance heads he recommends. I did notice some of the machining didn't seem the prettiest. I mean, it looks good, but yeah, and I might go through and I'm going to look at those ports when I take that out. I might do a little port on that. I don't know yet. And then I'm putting an A13 cam in it. I had the cam, but it had some little weird marks on it. Probably would have been fine, but I was talking to JD at JD's Custom Buggies. He said just go ahead and send it back. He wanted to see it, and he said he'd swap it out for me. So super cool guy. He helped me get these parts to make sure I got the right ones, and you know, when there was an issue, he took care of me. So that is awesome. That's something definitely I look forward forward to in a company and I like to support is someone that's willing to help you out if you need it, give you advice if you need it. It's hard to find today. He also gave me the right head gasket. I almost got the wrong head gasket. He made sure I got the right one. So big shout out to him. Really appreciate him. Yeah, so we're going to go through. I'm going to try to test these as best I can. I mean, it's me by myself. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to swap out is this carburetor. I'm going to put the Glixal 26 in and do a before and after test and see how well the 0.2 millimeter or 2 millimeter difference is. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this electric choke. The Hammerhead has a manual choke, so we're going to take this off. So we don't need that. And I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And I'm going to cut a spring off of it. It's kind of a way to, it's kind of a hack for these carburetors. On my Candy, I drilled out one of the vacuum ports on it as well. It started running a little, I don't want to say weird, but it seemed like the choke did not run as well. So what I'm going to do is cut one coil off of it. Is that going to make a groundbreaking change? I don't know, but it's worth a shot, right? I think it's a big mod in the, and you want to make sure if this comes out, you want to make sure that's seated properly. And you just line up the spring in that hole and get this facing the right way. And do not drop the screws. So I'm going to leave the jetting, the factory jetting, just so you guys can see it before and after. I'll check the plug. I mean, because if it's jetted wrong, we'll definitely want to change that. I mean, I'm not going to keep this thing on here, so I'm not going to get too crazy into jetting with just this. But you can get the jet kits on, what I did for the Candy was on Amazon has the jet kits, and then it's just trial and error. Monitor your spark plug, go up or down. And get it till you feel it's right. It's not backfiring or doing anything weird like that. One more time. If you've watched my other videos, you know I triple check everything. Okay. Make sure there's nothing weird going on in here. Alright. So we have a flathead, a Phillips, and some vacuum lines. My caliper gauge just broke, so I'm just going to use that to, I'm not going to have any numbers, but okay, so the intake side is exactly the same. For the air intake, and so the manifold side, that's where you're going to see your difference. If you can see that, should be 2mm difference. All right. And again, I'm just going to leave the factory jetting just to see what she does. Okay, we're going to go around this way. And I'm going to keep the fuel filter on. I always like to run fuel filters. I did not have a fuel filter on it before. See, there is a slight difference. Yeah, they're much longer. Huh. This one fit in here pretty easily. Okay, I think what we're gonna have to do is replace the whole side here, which doesn't make sense. They look identical, but let's try that and see what happens. They're super tight. Make sure you got a good screwdriver for these. Okay. Make sure they look the same. They do. So yeah, there must be something different with these housings. Let's look. They have a different number on them. Yeah, and the, I don't know if you can see that. The holes look different sized at the bottom. So, okay, well, we'll give this a go, see what happens. Good news is that fits. All right, so the easiest way to do this for me was to come around the side here. Okay, let's see what happens. Choke seems to be working. Glixal 26mm Carb, everything else stock. We're going to give it a run. 3, 2, 1, go. .88. All right, so the Glixal 26mm feels quicker, but dyno. The first pass was quicker at 3.88. We're going to give it a second one. We're doing 3 runs on each mod. 3, 2, 1, go. .96. Glixal run 3, 2, 1, go. There's my buddy Nate up there. He's chasing down. Ooh. Glixal 26mm top speed run, round 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Glixal 26mm Carb, top speed run, round 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Glixal 26mm top speed run, round 3. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we got Glixal 26mm. We're going to do some hot laps in the course. Keep in mind, I don't have a seat belt, so I'm gonna push it, but not too crazy. I got a little bumpy there. I'm gonna have to do some trimming. This is the first time I've really been out here since winter. Likes to slide better on left turns. See if we can get a little drift going around this roundabout here. On the roundabout. Sliding around everywhere without a seatbelt makes this really hard. Do some more trimming over here too. Well, there you have it. Hammerhead GTS Platinum. We did the Glixal 26mm Carb mod at a whopping $30. What do you think? You think it's a good mod? Myself personally, I do. I think the butt dyno tells me it feels quicker. It feels more responsive. I did clip the spring on the carb, which may have helped. I didn't play with jetting. We've seen definite gains in the 60 foot times. Yeah, so I think overall this is a win-win. So definitely interesting to see, just doing one mod, how big of a difference. I think one of the biggest gains we're going to get as we get into this is going to be the torque converter. But I think the next video I'm going to do is I'm going to do the intake, the exhaust, and I'm going to use the jetting Hammerhead provides, which I think is pretty large at 128, seeing as my my candy that's cammed intake and exhaust, I'm only running I think 124 on that. So, but I'm gonna slap that in there, see what it does. We'll give it a couple rips, see the times, and kind of go from there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was informative, and yeah. All right guys, so for the fun of it, I decided to bring the candy out and give a run, see what it does. Same day, same conditions, it's a little darker, so let's see what it does. 3, 2, 1, go.